Why in the world would you need these old, outdated tips? Because everything costs more and nothing lasts as long. These aren't just cute old-timey ideas, they're survival skills in disguise. Whether you're trying to lower your bills, reduce waste, or just feel a little more in control, these hacks give you options. And this year, options mean power. Some of these hacks sound wild until you realize Grandma did them because they worked. This isn't about making butter from scratch or washing zip bags for fun, although those are great frugal ideas too. It's about using what you have, spending with attention, and stretching every dollar like it matters. Because in this economy, it absolutely does. Hi, my friend. If you're new here, my name is Sarah. I'm the owner of FrozenPennies.com. I'm a financial coach and the author of the international best-selling book, Fundamentally Frugal. Link below. Now let's start with the first of the 7 categories because this is going to be jam-packed full of great tips. Frugal food habits. Back in Grandma's kitchen, food wasn't just nourishment, it was a survival strategy. Potatoes and butter were a budget staple, and who doesn't love potatoes and butter? She kept a sack on hand and turned them into something hearty and comforting every night of the week. Today, potatoes are still one of the cheapest whole foods at the grocery store. And with butter, herbs, or leftovers on top, they're a low-cost, high-comfort dinner that beats takeout any day. Rice and peas, or beans, were Grandma's meat substitute when many times the money was tight. With some seasonings and maybe a spoonful of bacon grease, she could feed the whole family. Now in current times, this is still one of the cheapest ways to build a filling, protein-rich meal, especially helpful when meat prices are sky high. Toss in frozen veggies or pantry spices and you'll get dinner for just pennies. Soup was Grandma's no-waste masterpiece. She didn't follow recipes, she followed her fridge. That leftover chicken thigh, those bendy carrots, the pasta from 2 nights ago, it all went in the pot. And today when groceries cost more than ever, this trick can stretch your budget and clear out the fridge. It's cozy, comforting, and the ultimate zero-waste meal. Every scrap had value. Stale bread became breadcrumbs, casserole toppings, or meatloaf filler. Crackers too old to eat were crushed into soup. In our world of $5 boxes of panko, tossing bread ends into the freezer and making your own is a simple money-saving upgrade that takes just minutes. Pickle juice wasn't trash either. Grandma poured it over cooked veggies or used it as a tangy base for dressings. Today you can save on expensive vinegars and condiments by whisking that brine with olive oil and mustard. Delicious, frugal, and waste-free. You can also use that pickle juice or brine in crock-pot dishes like Mississippi pot roast, which just incorporates some kind of a brine and some ranch dressing mix. And if you peeked into her kitchen window, you'd see a mug with green onion roots growing back in water. Today, that same trick can stretch your groceries, reduce your food waste, and add a little garden joy, even if you don't have a yard. It's proof that you don't need a green thumb to grow something useful. DIY household hacks. Grandma didn't toss something just because it was worn out. She found a new purpose for it. Old towels with holes or frayed edges? Those got cut into rags for spills, dusting, or cleaning floors. Today, this one switch can cut your paper towel usage in half and keep you from buying endless rolls of cleaning cloths. Actually, this might even be able to completely reduce your paper towel consumption. If you've got basic sewing skills, you can take those same towels and layer them with flannel scraps or batting to make pot holders. Not only are they functional, but they also make sweet little gifts or kitchen staples that didn't cost a dime. Empty glass jars were another treasure. Grandma scrubbed out every pasta sauce, jam, or pickle jar and reused them to store pantry goods, screws, leftover buttons, you name it. If you've been spending money on matching containers or organizing bins, this is your sign to go back old school. A mason jar doesn't care if it once held pickles, it's ready for your rice, nuts, or homemade dressing. Bread bags were never thrown out. They were used to pack lunches, store leftovers, line trash bins, or keep food fresh in the freezer. You can still collect them in a drawer and reuse them again and again, cutting back on plastic waste and those pricey box of baggy grocery runs. These are also great for pet poop bags or baby diapers. Even a nearly empty ketchup bottle had life left. Grandma would fill it with tomato paste, vinegar, and sugar, shake it all up, and call it done. If you've ever run out of condiments midweek, this hack can save a trip to the store and give you control over what's going on in your food. No preservatives required. What about a broken zipper? Grandma didn't toss that coat. She fixed it with a paper clip or a safety pin and made it work. And if your kid's backpack breaks mid-year or a jacket zipper fails, this trick still works in a pinch until you're ready to repair it properly or they outgrow it. When something cracked like a floorboard or windowsill, Grandma made her own poor man's putty using sawdust and homemade glue. Now, it wasn't fancy, but it worked. And if you're fixing up an old piece of furniture or doing a DIY project, this kind of thrifty fix can still save you money on supplies. Tiny soap slivers weren't trash either. She collected them in an old sock, tied it shut, and used it like a scrubby bar. It lathered just fine, exfoliated skin, and got every last bit of use. These days, we call it a zero-waste bathroom trick that feels a little nostalgic and a lot genius. And yes, she even made deodorant from scratch. A simple mix of lard or coconut oil, baking soda, and cornstarch created a natural paste that kept her fresh without chemicals. Now, if you're trying to avoid store-bought products or save money on self-care, this one swap might be worth trying. Because let's face it, those natural deodorants, they are not cheap. Laundry and clothing smarts. When Grandma did laundry, every step was intentional and frugal. Even in the middle of winter, she didn't rely on a clothes dryer. She strung up lines in the attic, garage, or near a wood stove to air dry clothes indoors. Today, this simple habit can seriously cut your electric bill, protect delicate fabrics, and add a little cozy, slow living rhythm to your week. Plus, it makes your home smell like clean cotton. No dryer sheet required. And then there were clever clothing fixes. To keep skirts from flying up in the wind, she sewed pennies into the hems. It was simple, discreet, and it worked. That same trick still holds up whether you're dealing with a lightweight sundress, a clingy tablecloth on the patio, or even shower curtains that just won't stay put. Now, if a winter coat wasn't warm enough, she didn't buy a new one. She lined it. Old flannel curtains or worn-out blankets were stitched right into thrifted coats to add warmth. And in a time when new outerwear can cost a small fortune, this trick can help you stay cozy on a budget. Plus, it gives secondhand finds a whole new life. Nothing was wasted, not even worn-out bras. Grandma snipped off the hooks, elastic, and rings before tossing the rest. Those little parts can still be used today to fix swimsuit tops, tank tops, or even DIY bralettes. It's one of those tiny behind-the-scenes hacks that keeps things functional and saves you from buying new. And if a sweater shrunk in the wash or got stretched out beyond recognition, she didn't just toss it, she unraveled the yarn and reused it. Today, the same hack is perfect for anyone into crafting or knitting. Just hit the thrift store, find a 100% wool or cotton sweater, and you've got yards of quality yarn for pennies. It's sustainable, creative, and honestly kind of therapeutic. Garden and outdoor ingenuity. Grandma didn't need a big backyard or fancy tools to keep a garden thriving. She used what she had. Old wire hangers were bent into stakes or hoops to support tomatoes, beans, or drooping flowers. If you're gardening today and don't want to spend a fortune on plant supports, this trick still works. One hanger equals one strong, bendable frame, free and functional. She also knew how to grow food from scraps. Like I mentioned before, green onions, carrot tops, and celery bases weren't tossed. They were placed in water on the windowsill and allowed to regrow. Even if you live in an apartment or only have a sunny kitchen counter, you can do this too. It's a small way to stretch your grocery haul and get a little green joy in your day. Rainwater was another resource she didn't waste. Grandma placed buckets under the eaves to collect it, then used it for her garden or mop floors. In times of raising utility bills and increasing drought conditions, catching rainwater in a barrel or bin is still a brilliant way to save and conserve, especially for houseplants or outdoor cleaning. Even broke dishes were put to use. Cracked plates or chipped bowls became edged for flower beds or garden paths. Today, that trick adds rustic charm to outdoor spaces while keeping ceramic waste out of landfill. It's functional, creative, and costs nothing. Plastic bottles, also repurposed. Poke holes in the cap, fill with water, and you've got a DIY watering can perfect for delicate plants. This is still one of the smartest, most kid-friendly garden hacks, especially if you want to avoid lugging around a heavy metal watering can and want to give your kids some fun. And when it came to sweeping the porch, Grandma didn't always reach for something store-bought. She bundled up twigs, tied them to a stick, and made her own broom. If you've ever needed to clean up the patio or sweep leaves off of your steps without heading to the hardware store because you can't find yours, this timeless trick still does the job. It's a little bit witchy, and a whole lot practical. Cozy living and seasonal prep. Before there were electric blankets and space heaters in every room, Grandma found simple ways to stay warm through cold nights. One of her favorite tricks? Filling glass jars or hot water bottles, wrapping them in towels and tucking them under the covers by your feet before bed. It was a gentle, comforting heat source, and you can still do it today during winter storms or power outages. It's also perfect for those chilly nights when you just don't want to crank the thermostat. She saved and reused everything, even old wax milk cartons. Once rinsed and filled with water, she'd freeze them into large ice blocks for the cooler or freezer. Now today, this same trick can help keep groceries cold during a road trip or make your freezer run more efficiently by keeping it full without buying extra food. Half-used candles weren't tossed either. She scraped the wax from old jars and melted it down into new candles. Now, if you've got a stash of old candles in the back of the drawer, this trick turns them into cozy ambience again. No trip to the store required. I've also heard of people going into churches and scraping the wax from the candles off of the floor to bring home and reuse. DIY candle making is a relaxing little DIY project you can do on a rainy afternoon. All of these hacks were about comfort, not just cost. They made long winters more bearable without depending on full cart from the big box store. And today they still offer a little luxury on a tighter budget. And a reminder that making do can also feel really good. Natural cleaning basics. Before cleaning aisles were packed with brightly colored bottles and chemical sprays, Grandma kept things simple and effective. Her two go-to ingredients, vinegar and baking soda. These two staples could clean just about anything. Together they scrubbed sinks, deodorized trash cans, unclogged drains, and even tackled laundry stains. Today, there's still some of the most affordable and non-toxic cleaners you can keep in your cabinet. If you're looking to reduce your exposure to harsh chemicals or just save money, this is a smart place to start. She'd also make her own all-purpose spray by mixing equal parts vinegar and water in an old bottle. It worked on mirrors, kitchen counters, windows, and more. In a world where everything seems to come with a subscription or a brand name, this DIY spray proves you don't need fancy products to get a sparkling clean home. Her approach to cleaning was minimal, just a few basic ingredients that did many, many jobs. By skipping the specialty cleaners, you can cut your household budget and clear out a cabinet clutter all at the same time. Plus, it's better for the environment and safer for pets and kids. Even her tools were treated with care. Wooden clothespins that got brittle weren't tossed. She soaked them in vinegar overnight to rehydrate the wood and keep them from splitting. If you line dry your laundry, use clothespins to hang herbs or even clip chip bags clothes. This little maintenance trick still helps your tools last longer and saves you from replacing them over and over. Resourceful kitchen and household extras. Grandma had a special kind of magic. She could turn just about anything into something useful. Take flannel pajamas or soft old t-shirts. Instead of tossing them, she cut them up and turned them into reusable baby wipes. And today, that same trick works beautifully for makeup remover pads, sticky toddler hands, or travel cloths. It's a zero waste habit that saves money over time and replaces your dependency on disposable products. Tea bags weren't single-use items either. Grandma would stretch each one into 2 or even 3 cups of tea. If you like a lighter brew or enjoy blending your tea with fresh mint or lemon, this trick still works. You can also dry used tea bags and toss them into smelly shoes or gym bags to absorb odor. Who needs to buy specialty deodorizers? Speaking of freshening things up, Grandma used the sun like a cleaning tool. She laid blankets, towels, and musty clothes out in direct sunlight, flipping them halfway through to freshen both sides. The sun naturally deodorizes and disinfects, which is free, an effective method we still forget to use today. It's especially great for linens, shoes, or even old books that smell a little basement-y. Her dresser drawers always smelled fresh too, thanks to homemade citrus sachets. She dried orange peels and tucked them into fabric pouches with cloves or cinnamon sticks. Now, if your closet could use a little lift, this DIY hack is fragrant, natural, and completely free. If you're already eating citrus. Even her cleaning methods for stains were naturally smart. She'd squeeze lemon juice onto fabric stains, sprinkle with a little salt, and let the sun bleach them out. No harsh bleach needed, just a little patience and sunshine. If you're trying to avoid chemicals or keep whites looking fresh, this gentle method still works today. And then there was the humble leftover coffee. While most people pour it down the drain, Grandma saved it. She used it to dye fabric, shine leather, flavor chocolate cake, or deepen the color in homemade gravies and sauces. If you drink coffee regularly, don't toss those last cold sips. Use them. It's one of those surprising little money-saving habits that add up over time. If you've ever opened your fridge, seen 3 ingredients, and considered it a challenge, these poverty hacks are for you. Whether you're team retire someday please, or just trying to make a paycheck stretch like yoga pants, Grandma's tricks still work. They're simple, scrappy, and surprisingly fun. And if you love this kind of stuff, don't forget to hit subscribe and check out the Penny Jar newsletter, where frugal magic happens every Friday. I'll put the link above and a link below in the description too. And if this video spoke to you, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and watch this video next.